This is a deeply emotional and reflective story. It's about personal growth, the hidden worlds inside everyday people, and how losing everything can lead to discovering what truly matters. The Richer Man. My name is Howard. I am 60 years old now. I will tell a story from my own personal life. It is a lesson that took me many long years to learn. It is about the worlds we all carry inside. As a younger man, I was always very busy. I ran a big company and worked all of the time. My world was full of deadlines and many meetings. I thought my problems were the only ones that mattered. I remember one time my son had a school play. I promised him that I would be there to see it. But a last-minute business meeting came up. I chose the meeting and I missed his big day. I saw the hurt in his eyes when I came home late. But I told myself that my work was important. It was for his future, for our family's good. That is the lie that I told myself for years. I would get very angry in slow traffic on the road. I did not think of other people in their cars. I saw them only as obstacles in my own way. Their lives and their worries did not matter to me. If I saw a child crying in a store, I would frown. I thought its problem was small and was not real. A lost toy seemed a silly thing to cry for. I did not understand that child's world at all. My world was about success and money and power. I measured my life by the things that I owned, my big house, my fast car, and my fancy suits. I thought these things were what made a man great. Then one day, my entire world completely fell apart. The company I worked so hard to build had failed. I lost the big house and the fast car and my job. I had to start my whole life all over again. At first, I tried to get another job like my old one. I sent my resume to many different companies. I wanted to get my old life back very badly, but no one wanted to hire a man of my age. The phone never rang, and my emails got no reply. The silence was louder than any meeting I had led. I felt invisible in the world I helped build. It was a very hard and humbling experience. I had to sell my big house to pay for my debts. I sold my fancy car and my expensive suits. Each thing I sold felt like losing a piece of me. The man I thought I was had disappeared. I was 40 years old and I felt like a big failure. I had no money and no important meetings to attend. My world, which was once so big, became small. I had to find any kind of job I could possibly get. The only job I could find was driving a city bus. In the past, I would have thought this job was low. But now, it was my only real way to survive. It was the start of my most important education. The first few weeks were very hard for me. I felt ashamed of my new uniform and my job. I did not want to see anyone that I knew. I just wanted to be invisible to the world. Every day I drove the same exact route in the city. I saw hundreds of people get on and off my bus. At first I paid no real attention to any of them. They were just passengers, faces in a big crowd. But when you are not rushing, you start to see things. My world was no longer about my own big problems. I had time to watch and to listen to the others. And that is when my real learning truly began. One afternoon, a little boy got on with his mother. He was about 5 years old and was crying loudly. He had lost his favorite little blue teddy bear. His small world was completely shattered by this. I remember the younger me who would have frowned. but now I saw the true pain in his teary eyes. For him, that bear was not just a simple toy. It was a good friend and a piece of his heart. His mother tried to calm him, but he kept crying. I stopped the bus a moment near a very small park. I saw a flash of blue color under a wooden bench. It was the little bear, looking safe and sound. I picked it up, and I gave it back to the little boy. The smile on his face was like the bright sun. In that moment, I fixed his entire world, and I felt a joy that no business deal ever gave me. I understood then that the size of a world matters. His world was small, so the loss of his toy was huge. My world had been big, so I thought my problems were big. It was the first lesson life had tried to teach me. A few weeks later, a teenage girl got on my bus. She always wore black clothes and big headphones. She never spoke and always looked mad at the world. I thought she was just a rude and moody teenager. One day, her school bag fell as she got on my bus. A book of sheet music fell out onto the floor. It was for a piano contest, a very big one. I saw her dream written there on all those pages. She quickly picked it up, her face turning very red. I saw she was not angry. She was just very scared. Her world was about this one piano competition. It was her chance to prove herself to the world. She practiced by tapping her fingers on her own leg. I could see the focus and the hope in her eyes. Her world was not my world, but it was just as real. Her worries were as heavy as mine had ever been. There was also a man who was new to this country. He got on my bus every morning for his work. He held a small dictionary in his own hands. He tried to learn new words on his way to his job. He would ask me how to say a word sometimes. "Excuse me, sir, how do you say thank you?" He said it with such a strong hope in his eyes. His world was about learning to communicate. His world was about building a new life here. He faced a big challenge every single day. I saw his courage in that small dictionary. He was brave in a way I had never been. I started to see all these stories everywhere I looked. A young man in a suit, nervous for a job interview. A mother holding her sweet, sleeping baby gently. Each person was living in their own universe. I saw a young couple get on the bus every day. They never had much money to pay for the fare. They would whisper and count their small coins. Their world was about making it to the next day. They were not worried about the big stock market. They were worried about having enough food to eat. Their problems were not small. They were enormous. They were the biggest problems in their own world. I started to respect the coins they counted. I saw their love and their strength in that one act. They faced their world together, standing side by side. I learned that true courage comes in many forms. My favorite passenger was an old woman named Julia. She was about 75 years of age. She got on my bus every Tuesday and Friday. She always had a very kind smile just for me. She moved so slowly and talked about her garden. She told me all about her flowers and her plants. At first, I thought her stories were very simple. But then I started to listen more carefully. Her garden was her world, a place of real peace. Each flower she grew was a victory for her. It was her connection to life and to all beauty. It was the place where she felt strong and happy. She told me that a garden teaches you patience. You cannot rush a flower. "It blooms in its own time," she said. "People are like that too. We all grow slowly." Her simple words were full of so much wisdom. I realized that her world was not small at all. It was rich with memories, knowledge, and grace. She was not a slow old woman. She was a teacher. She was teaching me to see the world so differently. I drove that city bus for 5 long years. Those 5 years were my real university. I learned more about life on that city bus route than I ever learned in a fancy business school. I learned that every person is fighting a battle that you probably know nothing about. So the kindest thing you can do is to be gentle and to respect the world they are living inside. A child's world is full of monsters and magic. Their biggest fear might be the dark room at night. That fear is real, and it deserves our full respect. We should not dismiss it because we are adults. A teenager's world is full of change and confusion. They are trying to find their place in the universe. Their heartbreaks are real. Their passions are strong. We must remember how it felt to be their age. A young couple's world is full of hopes and fears. They are building a future one day at a time. Their worries about the rent are as real as any. Their dreams are what carry them ever forward. An old person's world is full of memories. They have seen more than we can ever imagine. Their slowness is not a weakness. It is a rhythm of a life that has been fully lived. After 5 years, my son came to visit me. He was a young man now with a life of his own. I had not seen him for a very long time. I was nervous about what he would think of me. He rode on my bus for my entire shift. He saw the people. He saw how I talked to them. He saw the smile I gave to Julia. He saw the city in a whole new way. At the end of the day, he looked at me. He said, "Dad, I am proud of you." His words were the best gift I ever received, better than any bonus from my old company. That day, I finally forgave myself for missing his play, for all the lost time. I realized I was a better father now than I ever was as a rich and busy man. I am 50 years old now, and I do not drive a bus. I have a small workshop where I fix old furniture. It is a quiet life, a much more simple life. But it is a life that is full of real meaning. When I work on an old chair, I often think. I think about the families that once owned it. I think about the stories these objects could tell. Every piece of old wood has its own history. A young couple came to my shop last week. They bought an old table that I had repaired. They told me it was for their very first home. I saw the same hope I saw on the bus. I gave them a good price for the table because I understood their world of new beginnings. I was happy to be a small part of their story. This feeling is the new profit I seek in life. Just like every person has their own story, we cannot see their history just by looking at them. We cannot know the weight they carry deep inside. We can only offer them our respect and kindness. This is the lesson that my life has taught me. It is the most important lesson I have learned. It did not come from a book or a famous teacher. It came from the people I met on the city bus. It came from the tears of a 5-year-old boy. It came from the fear of a lonely teenage girl. It came from the love of a young poor couple. It came from the wisdom of an old woman. They were my teachers on that city bus. They opened my eyes to the worlds around me. They showed me that my world was not the only one, and that every world is important and sacred. So now, when I walk through the city, I see things. I see all the stories playing out around me. I see the quiet courage and the hidden struggles, and my heart is full of respect for it all. I try to be like Julia's garden, to be patient, and to not rush to any judgment, to understand that everyone grows at their own pace, and that every single life has its own beauty. Life is not about how big your world is. It is about how much you can respect other worlds. It is about knowing that we are all connected by our secret hopes and by our silent fears. This is my story, the story of Howard, a man who lost his world to find all the others. A man who learned that respect is the greatest gift, a gift we can give to each other every day. Remember the little boy and his lost teddy bear. Remember the girl and her piano competition. Remember the couple and their handful of coins. Remember Julia and her very patient garden. Each one is a universe, complete and whole. Each one is deserving of our understanding. Each one is a reminder to be a bit kinder to the strangers we meet on our life's journey, because we are all just passengers in this life. We are all just trying to get to our destination. We all have a ticket with our name on it, and we all have a story to share along the way. Look around you today, on your own street or bus. Don't see people as obstacles. See them as stories. Try to imagine the world they live in. You might be surprised by what you find. The world is much bigger than you think, and far more beautiful. It's full of millions of tiny, shining worlds, and each one makes the universe much brighter. That is the simple truth I learned on my bus, the truth that changed me from the inside out. I am a richer man now than I ever was before, not with money, but with true understanding. And that is a treasure no one can ever take away. It is the wisdom that I carry with me every day, the lesson that every single person matters, and every single world deserves to be seen. I hope this session was helpful. Please like and subscribe to our channel for more such interesting stories. Take care, everyone.